Good morning to you, Trent. What does this mean for pharmacy as people are going to be relying on rapid antigen tests more than ever now?
Well, community pharmacy has been the custodian of the pharmaceutical benefit scheme since it was introduced, and that scheme is built on the principle of universal access for essential medicines. And universal access can only be true if, firstly, we have the stuff on our shelves that we can supply. And secondly, there's a proper safety net, a safety net that enables all Australians, regardless of your level of disposable income, to be able to afford to access this essential service. So 6.6 million Australians, those that hold a healthcare card, low income earners, pensioners, majority of First Nations Australians now will be able to, when this scheme launches, access free rapid antigen tests from their local community pharmacy. So it's long overdue, but it's great news, Danica.
Will pharmacies be able to keep up with the demand? 10 tests will become available to concession holders. Demand will be unprecedented.
Oh, listen, the first thing I should say is community pharmacy have, I've never been more proud of them, right? While the rest of the network, so mass vaccination hubs closed down for Christmas, while GPs took a well-earned break because they're exhausted just like we all are, pharmacists have delivered more COVID-19 vaccines over the fortnight of the festive season than any other piece of the health infrastructure. So, whilst we will continue to be delivering vaccines and, the booster program's being boosted and the kids are coming on next week. And then there's the 3-month acceleration on top of that now. We've got to provide 66 million COVID-19 testing strips to Australians. So it's a huge task. Our pharmacy assistants are going to be the ones that are doing this. Many Australians that are familiar with the National Diabetes Services Scheme will know they can get their testing kits to measure their blood sugar, and you talk to the pharmacy assistant. So we're going to rely heavily, Danica, on our support staff, just like a general practice doesn't run without the practice manager or the nurse. A pharmacy does not run without our great pharmacy assistants.
Yeah, absolutely. A few months of a lot of work ahead. Just finally, I want to ask you about price gouging. There's been a lot of reports of different retailers, pharmacies putting up their prices for rapid antigen tests. What is being done about this?
So the pharmacy profession welcomed the ACCC's investigation, and what we'd just like to say is before something ends up being able to be provided to a patient, firstly, a wholesaler has to be able to buy it off a manufacturer or an importer. And, I'd love to be able to give you a villain in this instance. I'd love to be able to say, the wholesalers jacking their prices up or, the importers being greedy. But quite frankly, when you're not given any notice that you're going to transition from PCR to rapid antigen, every importer I know is chartering every aircraft they can get their hand on, and air freight is expensive, and every transport company is being engaged on every public holiday. So, we've seen prices per test jump by about $10 per test in just 4 weeks. But, that's going to settle down. It won't be like that forever. And, come February, prices will be back to where they should be.
Good to hear. Trent Twomey, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks, Danica.